Hey guys, 𝐤𝐤𝐤 from Meninfluencer here. So in this video I want to talk about skills you can learn at home. So obviously, since we're pretty much all at home at the moment, and you might be thinking about learning something new because you might have some time on your hands, and obviously the world is changing and everything is getting more digitalized. So if you're someone that actually wants to learn a new skill, in this video I'm going to talk about 16 skills you can learn at home. And obviously if you're someone that's new to this channel and would like to see more content like this, please consider to hit the subscribe button and help your brother out. With that said, let's jump into the video. So learning these skills, which you can literally learn from home, are very crucial and fundamental if you're someone that actually wants to learn a new skill and wants to actually master it. And moreover, these skills will actually help you to get better jobs and maybe even more opportunities later down the road. And you might be asking, how can I learn these skills? Well, in this video, I'll have a link down below to Skillshare, and if you're someone that actually clicks on the link and signs up, you get your first 2 months for free. So if you're actually serious about it, just check it out, and you can also always cancel it for no fees. Alright, so with that said, let's jump into number 1, animation. Animation is very crucial and fundamental in pretty much every industry. If you're someone that's able to animate, you'll easily be able to get more opportunities in the future. Because obviously, just think about it, pretty much every sector and industry needs animation to actually market or even showcase their products. So if you're someone that's able to animate, you can have more opportunities in the future. Because more and more things are getting automated. But if you're someone that actually has a creative mind and actually wants to animate, this will definitely help you out. Number 2, creative writing. So just like I mentioned before, being creative is pretty much one of the best skills you can pretty much have now, especially since everything is getting automated. So if you're someone that actually is creative, please use it. And pretty much all the skills I'm mentioning in this video require some degree of being creative. And so when it comes to creative writing, it is also fundamental. Because if you're someone that's actually able to be a creative writer, so obviously someone that actually experiments and gets new ideas out and just write them down on paper, maybe it's a story or maybe something else, you're definitely needed in the future. Pretty much all of the skills in this video are very versatile. So you might not even like being a creative writer, while someone else might love it. So it really depends on the individual person. Number 3, film and video. So you're actually watching this video on YouTube, but there's a lot of things that go behind the scene of it. So obviously when it comes to films and video, I need to probably edit it, make sure the lighting is good, and obviously have great audio and be sure that actually my camera is at the right setup. So there's a lot of things that actually go behind the scenes of actually making a film and video. And therefore, if you're someone that actually can specialize himself or herself in this, you'll be someone that actually will get more opportunities later down the road. Because here's the cool part about this. There's more and more demand for videos than ever before. Because obviously now you've got YouTube, you've got Instagram, you've got Facebook. And pretty much for all of these platforms, you require some degree of actually video or filmmaking experience. So if you're someone that actually can specialize him or herself, you'll be someone that actually has a lot more opportunities in the future. And I'm not gonna lie, it's very interesting, at least for me. Number 4, fine art. So I'm not someone that's very artistic, but if you're someone that is artistic, and obviously you need to be a little bit creative when it comes to this as well, this is a good skill for yourself. So this isn't particularly a skill that will actually help you get more opportunities later down the road, but it's definitely a skill that will actually help you to increase your status, and it's fundamentally just a great and cool skill to learn. I'm not telling you that you can't land any opportunity, I'm just telling you that there's quite a lot of competition relative to demand. So if you're someone that actually wants to learn a new skill just for him or herself, rather than to actually implement it and get more opportunities, because obviously you can get some opportunities, it's just a lot more harder. Nevertheless, it's a good thing if you're someone that actually wants to learn for him or herself. Number 5, graphic design. So graphic design is also one of those industries that has seen a huge spike, especially in the last 5 years. And just taking YouTube for an example, you need to learn some degree of graphic design if you're someone that actually wants to have better thumbnails. And this doesn't only count for YouTube, because you obviously need it for tons and tons of other platforms. And moreover, also for local businesses that are actually trying to digitalize themselves. And that's not even everything. Obviously, I know that learning graphic design can be quite difficult, especially in the early stages. But once you overcome that, it's quite fun, because you can use your creativity to actually design something that you're proud of. And this also brings me to the 6th point, illustration. So illustration and graphic design can be seen as quite similar, although it really isn't. Because graphic design is all about actually creating an image that actually works, while illustration is more about being more artsy. And just like I mentioned before, being creative is the fundamental thing to pretty much all of these skills and most of the future opportunities. So if you're someone that actually wants to be more creative while they're actually designing something instead of actually doing graphic design, this is definitely a good choice for you. Number 7, music. So pretty much, if you just think about it, if you go back to pretty much, let's say 20 years ago, there were way less artists than there are now. So there's more demand for music. But it doesn't only mean that there's more demand for particularly singers or rappers, because there's also a lot of demand for people that actually make beats, blend them in, mix them, or maybe even just play instruments. Whatever it is, the music industry is growing, and if you're someone that's actually able to actually obtain one of these skills in the music industry, you'll have a good chance and opportunity later in the future. Number 8, photography. So this is actually one of those skills that a lot of people actually find quite fulfilling. So obviously you can become a photographer for weddings and pretty much any other industry, because everything is getting online and more businesses want to obviously have photos of their products and maybe even their services. Or you can also just learn the fundamentals of photography, because obviously, just like myself, I've learned the fundamentals of photography so I can take better pictures, for example for Instagram or just for my friends. And generally speaking, this also actually gives you more chances in life. So obviously if you're someone that actually can take great pictures, a lot of people actually want you to take their pictures. So most likely they won't pay you for it, but this will actually create a connection with them, which you can actually utilize for later down the road. So this is definitely a great bonus skill on top of your other skill. Number 9, UI/UX design. So this is actually one of those skills that a lot of people don't know about what it is. So this is a skill that you actually fundamentally design, for example, website in a certain way that will actually create more conversions for that particular business. So you might be asking, why is this skill so fundamental? Well, a few examples of this is, for example, just think about the food industry. There have been color psychology studies that if you actually implement the color blue when it comes to food, there will be less sales of it because it doesn't seem very appealing. Well, obviously, when it comes to makeup for girls, the studies have shown that if you actually implement the color purple, it actually increases the sales for it. And this is pretty much where all the skills come into handy. So I pretty much use all the research of science and implement it for businesses into the marketing strategy to actually increase the conversions. Number 10, web development. Yes, I know, pretty much everyone expected this skill, but web development is one of those skills that's still very useful, because obviously everything is getting online now. But even then, there's tons and tons of people and businesses that are still offline. And now with everything going on, people are getting quite scared. So they actually want to make the transition from offline to online. So obviously, because of this, there's more and more demand for it. And yeah, no, a lot of people will say that it's quite saturated. But obviously, even though that's true, but those are the same people that actually said that it was too saturated 10 years ago. So obviously, it was better 10 years ago, but the next best time to actually learn this skill is now. Because obviously after 10 years, it will actually get even more saturated, even though there's also going to be more demand for it. Number 11, business analytics. This is pretty much all about data and analysis to actually find trends that will actually be useful for a lot of companies. So obviously, if you're someone that doesn't mind to play with Excel numbers and obviously like to do some business analysis to actually find some trends, this is definitely a good skill for you. Number 12, freelance and entrepreneurship. So obviously, most of these skills can actually be used as a freelancer or entrepreneur, but nevertheless, learning the fundamentals when it comes to freelancing and entrepreneurship is fundamental. However, unfortunately, if you just simply go to YouTube and type how to make money online, there will be a lot of scam artists that will actually try to make money off you and actually claim something that they probably won't be able to actually achieve for you. But nevertheless, if you're someone that actually can learn a skill, just like I'm mentioning a lot of skills in this video, and learn how to market it, you'll be good to go. So the key thing when it comes to freelance and entrepreneurship is actually to learn the fundamentals of how it works, because this way you have a good blueprint that you can work on and you won't obviously get scammed. Number 13, leadership and management. So obviously, if you actually haven't noticed, I talk a lot about fundamental social skills on this channel. So obviously, when it comes to social skills, that's one of the fundamental things to actually become a better leader and get better management skills. So obviously, when it comes to leadership and management, there's tons of sub skills you need to learn, but they are pretty much useful for every area in your life. So say for example, if you actually want to become a better leader, you actually need to learn how to actually socialize with people. So obviously, when it comes to leadership skills, you obviously need to learn how to deal with other people. You need to learn how to deal with pressure, stress, and a lot of other things. So leadership and management skills on paper look very easy, and unfortunately, a lot of people actually overlook this because they think, yeah, obviously I already know how to talk with people. But nevertheless, leadership and management skills are very fundamental because just think about it. It doesn't matter in which industry or what you do. If you actually know how to talk with people, you'll be better off than if you're someone that actually doesn't know how to talk with people. And moreover, another thing that you actually learn from leadership and management skills is how to deal with pressure, anxiety, and a lot of stuff like that. And obviously, I know that not everyone wants to become a leader, but even then, it's still very useful if you actually learn and obtain these skills. Number 14, marketing. And just like I pretty much mentioned throughout this video, everything is pretty much changing nowadays and you need to get more creative. And therefore, if you're someone that is actually quite creative and can find new and creative ideas to actually bring to the marketplace, to actually market something, this is definitely a skill you need to learn, because this way you'll get more and more opportunities later down the road. Because marketing is pretty much the oxygen when it comes to the business, organization, and even charity. If you don't market it good enough, sometime the institute will actually die off. And obviously, your business, your organization, or charity will flop. So if you're someone that actually is able to market, or just if you want to start something for yourself, you need to learn marketing. Number 15, lifestyle. So this is quite a broad skill that you can learn. So obviously, when it comes to skills regarding lifestyle, there's tons of things you can talk about. So obviously you can talk about interior design, you can talk about lifestyle, but about a certain person, or even pretty much about learning a certain skill that you can actually use in your lifestyle. So obviously on this channel, I talk a lot about men's lifestyle. So obviously I'm talking about style, grooming, social skills, health, and stuff like that. But even then, that's quite broad. So if you're someone that actually wants to learn a skill regarding lifestyle, obviously I'll have a link to Skillshare down below, just like I previously mentioned. And if you're someone that actually signs up, you'll get your first 2 months for free. Number 16, productivity. So this actually reminds me of one of those quotes that one of my teachers used to say. Productivity isn't everything, but in the long run, it's almost everything. Paul Krugman. So pretty much in the short term, if you're not productive, you'll be alright. But when it comes to the long run, your future, is definitely something you need to work on. So if you're someone that actually can learn how to be more productive, obviously you can learn more skills and you can actually obviously develop yourself to actually become a better version of yourself and get more opportunities in the future. And just like I previously mentioned in this video, so one way to actually do this is to actually pick one choice and just go 100% for it. Actually be obsessed about it. Read a lot of books about it. Watch YouTube videos about it. And you want to actually become someone that literally just thinks about that particular topic. And obviously the internet brings us a lot of great information, but not everything is reliable. And that's why if you're someone that actually is a little bit more serious about this, I actually do recommend you to try out Skillshare. Because if you just hit the first link in the description, you get your first 2 months for free. And obviously you can cancel it any times. So if you're someone that actually doesn't want to pay anything after the 2 months, you can literally just sign up and cancel it literally after a day, or maybe the same instant time you actually sign up, and you still have your 2 months for free. So this way you can actually still learn those skills that you want. And obviously on Skillshare, you learn these skills from experts. So that way you actually know that what you're learning is quite valuable. So obviously in this video, I've talked a lot about the different types of skills that you can learn at home. And you might be actually overwhelmed. So if you're actually serious about learning a new skill, I actually recommend you to actually rewatch this video again, to actually choose one specific topic or area that you actually want to specialize in. Go 100% for it, actually make yourself obsessed about it, learn a lot about it, just read books, watch YouTube videos, and perhaps even just sign up for Skillshare if you actually want to take it to the next level. Because this way, you'll be actually someone that will thank yourself for your future self. Because obviously if you actually learn these skills, you create more opportunities for yourself for the future. And if you're someone that is actually new to this channel and would like to see more content like this and actually appreciated this video, please consider to the subscribe button and help your brother out. And obviously, please leave a like for the YouTube algorithm. That's it for me. I'll see you on the other side. Bye bye.